Hello, this is Chris the Avatar, creator of Fantasy Realm Online, and what I've done here today is created a tutorial to take you through the different adventure classes and how they get started with all the basic controls of the game, maybe make it a little bit easier for new players coming in and wanting to try the game. Anyway, I hope this helps. I'm going to go ahead and get started. So right after login, you're going to be presented with kind of the ability to pick from a list of character classes here. And you can be a barbarian, a knight, a ranger, a rogue, a wizard, or a merchant. And we'll cover the merchant in a separate video. So I'm going to go ahead and pick the ranger myself, and you can read through the descriptions and pick one that sounds interesting to you. So then I'm going to go ahead and hit next, and you can see I'm presented with stats that I can tweak by hitting these plus buttons back and forth. I can take points from one stat and give it to another within the given area. And each class kind of has its unique stat setup to start with. And you can see down here I have a list of skills that you can pick from. I recommend if this is your first character, just go with the starting skills of the game. They're kind of pre-picked for you, optimized, making it easier for you to get started quickly and not having to worry about tweaking your skills back and forth and making sure you have the right ones. Just to note, you can only start with 3 skills. Every 10 levels you gain, you'll be able to select another skill. So at level 10, you'll be able to have 4 skills, at level 25 skills, and so on and so forth. So I have 15 points to assign. I'm just going to assign them to one of these existing skills so we can move on here. So I'm going to assign 10 to healing and 5 to archery. And then I'm going to press next. And you can see here I am now presented with the ability to kind of customize how my character looks. I'm going to go ahead and make his outfit kind of greenish, and I'm going to call my guy Mr. Elf. So you'll see you can also select a homeland, and what this does is this is going to give a bonus to the maximum skill you can obtain in the area. And you can only currently do this when you create your character. So I recommend kind of going with maybe a general skill like one of the core combat skills, your first character, until you learn more about each of the skills in the game. So now that I've kind of customized my character, I'm going to hit next, and we're going to go right into the game here. So once you get into the game world, you will automatically be presented with this blurb here about your place in the story and how you ended up in Moonhaven. I will let you read that on your own. I'm just going to click OK out of this. And for some of you, you may have really high resolutions on your computer, so I recommend before you get it started, if the screen is a little too small, in windowed mode, you come up here to the options and you run the game in full screen mode, and then you select a resolution that will be to your liking. And it's going to be different for every monitor, so I can't really tell you which one to select. You'll have to just go through them and select one that's more fitting for what you would like to see. And a little bit of black space off to the sides is not a bad thing, as the game will utilize some of the black space for information, or you can also put windows there by dragging them off here to the side, and there are some windows that you may want to have open. So for now, that's all I want to show you in options. We will be back in here a couple more times later in the tutorial. So I'm going to close out of this. And the next thing I'm going to show you is how to move objects around the world. So to pick up an object, you just hold down your left mouse button and drag it with the mouse to any location on the map really around your character. You can see tiles around my character that I can drop the item to will turn green, and tiles that are too far away will turn red. So to drop the item, just let go of the left mouse button and you will see the item fall into the world, and I can pick it up again just by dragging or holding down the left mouse button and dragging the item back to my character and dropping it on the character doll to equip it again. The next thing I want to show you is the inventory window. So to open that up, you just click on the inventory button here and you'll see this small window appears, and you can drag that to wherever you like. I'm just going to put mine off to the side here. And you can see items are broken out into different tabs on the inventory. And if I pick up an item and I put it into the inventory, just by dragging it there, it will appear in my inventory depending on what the item is. There may be a new tab for it if there's not already one there. So you can see I just dropped a sword there and it went into the weapons tab. I can pick up items from my inventory just again by holding the left mouse button and dragging the item to wherever I want to put it. For now I will put it in my alternate weapon slot, and the alternate weapon slot kind of allows me to switch between multiple weapons quickly, and you can also put other items there as well, such as this torch, and I can use this alternate button that you can also set a hotkey for to switch between the different items I have equipped. So the next thing I'm going to show you is how to move your character around the world. And moving's pretty simple. All you do is position your cursor the direction you want to move and hold down the right mouse button, and your character will begin to move. And you can move your cursor further away from your character to get him to run in that direction. And to slow him down, you just move your cursor back towards your character and he will slow down. And if your finger starts to get tired, you can just, while holding the right mouse button, click the left mouse button and your character will continue to move. So you do not have to hold it if you're running a long distance. That may be something you want to do. And to get him to stop, you just simply click the right mouse button again and he will stop. Alright, so the next thing I want to show you here is the mini-map in the game, and the mini-map is right up here in the top right hand corner, and it shows you a glimpse of what's around your character. And if you want to go ahead and make it bigger, you just simply click it and a new window will appear that is a much larger view of what's around your character, and this will go ahead and move with your character, so you can actually move around and your character will move on the map. And there's a lot of buttons you can see on this window that toggle different things, or to zoom out and back in, or you can actually see a whole view of the map, and to get back to the other view you just simply double click and it will take you back to the normal view of the map. You can turn on and off the labels by clicking the regional labels button, and you can also show nearby NPCs or not show them. Clicking the button will just simply toggle them appearing on the mini-map, and they will appear as orange dots around your character. The quest label button here will turn on and off. You can see the blinking text right here, and clicking this will turn that on or off. And anytime you have a quest that's active, most of the quests will have marker points you need to get to take some action for the quest. And now is a good time to note that all the quests in Fantasy Realm Online are completely optional. There's no set path in the game. It's a complete sandbox game. You can take part in the quest you wish to and ignore the ones you don't. So there's no forced path. But we'll talk more about quests, perhaps in another video. For now, I am going to close out of the minimap window, and we will move on to talking about combat next. I'm going to go ahead and run down through this town of Dragonhead Village, and we will actually just go right into the mines. And you can see there are some weather effects in the game. This village is foggy about half the time, so that is why some clouds just appeared over my character. And I'm going to run up here to the mines rather than following the specific quest line, though I do recommend you do the first few quests to get a hang of the game, as they will offer some guidance when starting the game. So now that I'm in the caves here, if your monitor is a little dark, you may consider equipping a torch, or even if it's really dark, you can come up here to options and select the map tab and adjust your lighting and brightness, and it will actually just in real time kind of adjust the lighting in the game for you. Again, every monitor displays a little bit different. That's why that setting might be necessary for you to have a good view of the game. So I'm going to run up to the Ratman spawn next to show you the basics of combat. And combat, at least for your primary weapon skills, are mostly automatic. And you can see that the Ratman had attacked me, and I'm automatically attacking him back. And whenever there's nothing else attacking you and an NPC does attack, your character will automatically attack it, and you can see this pulsating red attack target that was underneath the Ratman there. And here it is again. Another Ratman had just spawned, and I am attacking it. If there are multiple attack targets on the screen, you can change your attack target by pressing the tab key and then just clicking on the NPC you actually want to attack. So I'm going to chase this Ratman down, who is running from me because he is hurt. And you can see over here that the Ratman corpse inventory automatically comes up, and he has some different items that I can take, and I can drag them right to my inventory to loot them, or I can hit this take all button, which will take everything in the corpse's inventory. So that's kind of the basics of how your character automatically attacks, and in more dangerous situations, you'll also have to worry about handling the healing of your character, and I will show you that here shortly. I will run up to the zombie spawn, and we will see some different kinds of creatures and more of them on the screen at the same time. So I'm going to go ahead and run up here through the mines, and this particular dungeon is a good place to level your character in the beginning, at least this first level here. So here are some zombies that are attacking me, and I'm going to click over the potions here, and you can see I have in my pack healing potions and healing salve, and if I want to heal my character, I can use either one. Potions do not use the healing skill. Every character class, and regardless if you have healing or not, can drink healing potions, but you can only drink one every 10 seconds or so. So you kind of, in tougher battles, you'll need either the healing skill or magic skill to supplement using potions. And to use any item in the game, you just need to double click on it. For example, I'm going to use this healing salve to begin healing my guy, and then I will just click on my guy to heal him, and you can see it tells me that I begin healing. And basically that the healing will last so many seconds based on your healing skill, and as you use healing salve on your character or on other players, you will gain skill just by using it. And you can track your skill gains. It will alert you kind of here at the bottom as you gain skill, or you can actually have your status menu open and track them that way. And the green bar indicates how close you are to gaining another point in a given area. So to use healing potions, again, you just double click on a healing potion. And that's really all there is to the healing skill. So the next thing I want to tell you is how you can set hotkeys to perform some of these actions for using healing salve or healing potions or really any item in the game. And you can do that by coming up here to Options and then pressing the Hotkeys button here. And you can use any of the keys on your keyboard. However, if you're going to use a non-function key, which is the function keys are F1 to F12, but if you're going to use, for example, a letter, you need to use Control or Alt with that letter. But for now, you can get most of your hotkeys on these function keys that you'll likely use with a character. So I'm going to just click F1 here, and I want to make my F1 hotkey have use the healing salve. So I'm going to say use item, and then I'm going to select healing salve from the list over here, which populates with all the items in my pack. And then I hit save, and now you can see that F1 has this action, use item healing salve. And I'm going to go ahead and close this, and I can hit F1, and you can see that it now brings up a target to heal myself. So I'm going to show you how to set a couple other hotkeys later in the tutorial for spells and such not, but I'll quickly show you one more here for setting a healing potion. I'm going to make my healing potion F2, so I'm going to again come down to use item and select healing potion and hit save. And I will close out of this again. And now to use a healing potion, I can just hit the F2 function key. Another thing to note about targeting, you'll notice that there are, after I have a target up for either attacking or some action I want to perform, like using the healing salve, I can actually target with just using the keyboard rather than having to click with my mouse. And all you need to do is press the corresponding key for the character that is beside the target that you want to target. So I'm just going to press 0 to heal myself. And your character will always be the number 0 unless you change that in the options. And you can actually change targeting. I believe it's in map here, and you can see self-target key is 0 and your attack target key is 1. So whatever your primary attack target is, you can always press 1 to target it, or you can always press 0 to target yourself whenever you have the targeting cursor up. So that is kind of the basics of combat, at least for what you'll need to know. And I'm going to actually go ahead and run down into the main town, and we will show you how to buy and sell items, and as well as store the goods you find in your bank, as your pack can only get so big. And after, I think it's level 30, it's either 20 or 30, whenever you die, you start to lose your items. So there is a grace period for new players that whenever you die, rather than losing your items, they just come with you. So I'm going to go ahead and run down to Brimstone, which is one of the main cities in the game right now. And you can see the world's quite large to run through. There are some easier ways to travel around, which I will show you a little later in the tutorial, especially over long distances. So right over here is the entrance to Brimstone. So I will first show you how you can buy some new equipment from, say, the blacksmith. And to figure out which shop is which in towns, you can just kind of hover your mouse over a sign or click on it, and it will tell you exactly what it is. So to open up a door, you just double click on it, and you can just walk into the shop. And then to interact with an NPC, you just double click on them, and you can see I have these tabs along the side here for various actions. You can talk to most NPCs, and some of them will offer you quests or things to do in the game, jobs. So to buy something, you just click this buy button, and you can see he has some different items to sell, and maybe I want to buy a little bit better weapon than what I currently start with. So I'm going to buy a Shamshir, and just click the you can buy more than one by using the slider bar, but I'm just going to pick up one, and I just press the buy button, and you can see that it subtracts from my total gold that I have on my character, and it is placed within my inventory. To sell an item, you just hit the sell tab, and you can see the item I just bought. He is willing to buy back, or I can just, if I don't think I'm going to need my short sword anymore, I can place it in here and kind of just click off the tab and click back to refresh the items that show up. So I'm going to sell my short sword since I don't need it anymore, and you can see it adds to my total gold in my inventory here, and that's really all there is to it. You can also repair weapons or armor, and there's also weapon enhancements. For example, you can sharpen weapons to get an extra point of damage out of them, or fortify them to make them last a bit longer than they normally would. That is all there is to buying and selling. I am going to run down to the bank here, and on my way I will show you a couple other shops. This is an enchanter's workshop, and here they will sell magic weapons and armor, as well as recharge your existing magic weapons. Some weapons in the game are charged with magic, and as you use them they run out of charges and they need to be recharged. Down here is the Brimstone Bank, and there are right now I think 3 or 4 different banks in the game, but this is one of the more popular ones, I guess you could say. And to open up your bank, all you need to do is come in here and double click on one of these chests, and you can see that from my other characters that I have on my account, there are already some items inside of my bank, and to place items in it, you can either drop the actual item on the chest here, or you can drag it right over, and it will be sorted into its appropriate tab inside your bank. So that is essentially how banking works. Every account gets one bank account in the game, and it is shared, so it's an easy way to swap items between characters. And if you do fill up your bank, I believe it can hold 125 items total, as you see here. You can upgrade your account to a premium or ultimate account and purchase a house in the game, which has some other benefits, such as being able to decorate your own space. There's some basements and stuff, but I'll maybe talk about that in a different video. Not really what I want to cover in this video. I'm just trying to show you the basics here. Another important thing to show you is how you can divide a pile of items. So if, for example, if I do not want to have all my gold on me and I want to leave some in the bank, I can just click on the pile, and you can see over here on the side I get this slider bar, or I can type in an amount I want to put in the bank. Maybe I want to put 100 in, and I can type it in and press enter, and you can see that this new pal is put into my pack, and I can just drag that right to the bank, and in it will go. So that's really all there is to banking. And another thing I forgot to show you earlier was how when we were in the dungeon earlier, we had gained a level, and I want to show you, whenever you gain a level, you can come into your status and you get 4 or 5 status points to assign, and you can put them in any of the stats that you want, and you can hover over the different stats to actually see what their abilities are. I recommend raising your stamina, strength, and faith first, especially if you're mainly a physical character that's going to be dealing with weapons more than magic. So I'm going to go ahead and put 5 points in the stamina, and also 3 points into faith. And then once you're satisfied with how you have that laid out, you can press the apply button. Also, now is a good time to show you that if you did want to switch your skills around, you should do it before hitting the apply button, because you can only do so whenever you do gain a level, or every 1.5 hours. And you can see here that I have 3 of 3 skills, and again, I had mentioned this earlier, but just to reiterate this, every 10 levels you will get an additional, you'll be able to have an additional skill that you can add to your character. So you can just again check one of these items by just clicking on it, or you can uncheck an existing item you have. I'm just going to leave mine alone, set up how it is, and I will hit apply to make these stat changes. And again, it just confirms with you that you want to do this, so I'm going to just hit OK, and then I will close out of the status menu here. And the next thing I want to show you is Spirit Gates. And Spirit Gates is a way you can travel around the world a little more quickly, and there are some different Spirit Gates set up around the world, and I will leave you to find them on your own. So I will run over here to Miststone and just show you where one of the basic ones are, so you can more easily get back to town. So I will just head east here. Okay, so here we are. This is a Spirit Gate. They kind of look like Stonehenge stones, and to add this location to your Spirit Travel list, you simply double click on a Spirit Stone, and you can see this button light up here, and then anytime you want to travel back here from anywhere, you can simply select this location from the list, and you can see it costs 5 spirit points. And what spirit's typically used for casting magic or spirit traveling. There's also some other skills in the game that do use spirit points. And what is unique about spirit points is spirit does not recharge on its own unless you have the concentration skill at 100 skill points or above. In order to recharge it, you will need to visit a Reverend or Dark Priest or Druid if you are neutral. And let me show you how spirit traveling works here. So regardless of where I'm at, as long as I'm not in combat, I can just come up here and click this item and press OK, and you will see that my character travels back here. And just to show you how you can recharge your spirit, if you're neutral, and we haven't talked much about good, neutral, and evil, but I don't want to get too much into that, other than just to mention if you're neutral, you can come down here to the Druids, and they will recharge your spirit points if you're good. You can go to any of the churches around the game, and the Reverend will recharge your spirit, and if you're evil, the Dark Priest will restore your spirit. So again, some of them just have different conversation pieces in terms of, you know, what they say to restore your spirit. But on this one, I'll just say, please restore my spirit. Some of them will ask for gold coins, usually 5 or 10. And I just say I can pay this, and you can see my spirit bar is recharged. And that is how that works. The next items I want to move on to are just showing you maybe some of the other combat skills and maybe how a few other stats work. And while we're talking about these bars down here, this one here is your hunger bar. And if you let your character get too hungry, he will begin to starve and lose life points. And the higher you keep your hunger bar, the faster you will regain health. So you always want to try to keep that, between 80 and 100, I'd say. So I am going to just eat some food here to bring my bar back up. And you can see I ate all my food, and it's now back up to around 100. And different types of food give different amounts of hunger points. This other bar here is your weight bar, and some items weigh more than others. This is just another limiting factor to how much you can carry. This is your experience bar, and you probably saw it moving while we were in the caves doing some combat, and as you gain experience, this bar will also go up. This bar, mainly used with magic skills such as Druidry, White Magic, Black Magic, Mundane Magic, will essentially just another resource to be consumed when you cast a spell. And I will talk about spellcasting next, so I'm going to switch off to another character. So I will see you in a minute. Alright, I am on my wizard now, and before we jump right into spellcasting, I thought I would show you one other customizable feature you can do with your character. All clothing in the game is dyeable, or you can change the color of it essentially. And how you do that is you can have the item in your inventory or bank, or really just unequipped from your character, and you can purchase a dye kit from any clothing store or leather worker, and you simply click on the dye tub, and then you'll see this color option here, and you can select from a bunch of different colors. So I'm going to actually make my robe a dark gray. So then once you set the color on the dye tub, you can double click on it and then come over to clothing and click on your robe, and you can see the robe changes color, and then after I equip it, it appears that color on my character. So that's simply how that works. I'll also dye my hat here, and again I'm just double clicking on the dye tub and then going to come over the armor this time. The wizard hat is considered a piece of armor because it does have defense attributes, but it's still a dyeable piece of clothing, and I will equip that as well. And now you can see my wizard appears all black. So now I'm going to move into spellcasting here, and I'm going to run to the crypt this time instead of the mines. And the crypts is another popular dungeon, and it's right over here in the Brimstone Cemetery. So now that I'm in the crypt, let's just go ahead and cast one of the spells we have. I'm going to make it a little bit lighter around my character, and you can see I click this button here to open up my spell book, and I have a list of spells over here, and I can just click one, and I'm going to click on light and then press cast. And I right click on the book to actually close it out, and then I can click on my character, and you can see I have this magical light around my guy now. And obviously you might not want to do this every time you cast a spell, so I'd recommend setting some hotkeys. Hotkeys really do make the game a lot easier to play. So on this character, I'm going to make my F1 be light, and my F2 be the fire spell, and my F3 the shock spell, and my F4 I will make my healing spell. So again, setting hotkeys is pretty simple, especially with the function keys. You can set virtually almost for any action in the game, from casting a spell like we just set to opening up a door that's in front of you. Again, definitely an important part of the game. Makes it much more enjoyable once you do set your hotkeys, as you have to click through a lot less menus. So I'm going to close out of this now, and we will go see if we can find a zombie or two to fight. So here's a couple zombies, and bring this one up here, and I'm going to cast the fire spell, and I'm pressing the hotkey I just set, which is F2. And I'm going to press the number 1 to target the zombie, and you can see some magical effects come up. And you can see I can also be attacking while I am casting spells. And I will cast a shock here on this next zombie. And most spells have a pretty long range that you can cast them, meaning you can be further away from the creature you're targeting. And that's really all there is to spell casting. And you can see my mana here is going down as I cast spells. Another thing to note, spells also require regents, and depending on what you're casting, different regions are needed. For example, this light spell takes ash, so you'll see there's this regions tab, and I have to have that in my inventory or I cannot cast the spell. And same with shock here requires 2 brimstone, which are these rock looking items. And let's take a look at lesser heal, just takes garlic, and this is again a spell that you can cast on yourself and heal your character to regain life. And this is again a different way to heal your character. So that is all there is to casting spells, and there are a lot of different skills for spell casting, and you can see here's Druidry. I have Mundane Magic, which is most of the lesser spells that I'm casting off my character. There is also Necromancy and Prayer and Summoning, which allows you to summon creatures, White Magic, and Black Magic I probably just skip past. So each class of magic, or school of magic if you will, has different things that it's good at. Mundane Magic that you start with is kind of just a general purpose magic, has some attack spells, some defense spells, some utility magic, so that's why we start your character with that skill if you are the wizard class. The next thing I want to show you is what happens exactly when your character dies, so there's no confusion when that does eventually happen, and it does eventually happen to everyone. So I am going to run up here to a much more difficult area. I may not even make it there. And I am paralyzed, which is why I'm standing here. Just got unparalyzed. I'm going to try to stay healed to make it up here. Just show you some different NPCs. And there are a lot of different monsters in the game. So here's this Grim Reaper looking guy that is called the Keeper of the Dead. And you can see I have a bunch of skeletons and this undead knight and zombie on me. And I just got fireballed by the Keeper of the Dead. And you can see that my character is taken to this heavenly looking place, and you'll notice that my life is at 0 here, and it's very clear that I am dead. So you have to wait in heaven just a minute or two until your spirit rejoins your body, and then you will simply head into one of these portals. And I'm actually not going to sit here the whole minute. I will pause the video and then unpause it whenever I am fully healed up. Okay, so my character is now fully healed, and I am going to run through this light portal, and you will see it takes me back to a random church that is in the game. And it's taken me to one of the churches in the Faycrest region. This is right outside of the city of Faycrest, which is another large city in the game. So that is how death works, and essentially if you are good or neutral, you will go to Heaven's Gate, and if you are evil, you will go to the pit of hell. But again, it's the same idea. There's a couple portals out of each of those areas that will take you back to a random church or random temple of darkness. So I'm going to just run into this city real fast, And one more thing I do want to show you with the wizard before we're done with him is how to add new spells to your spell book. And some spells you'll need to find off of mob drops, and others you can purchase in from a scribe store. And essentially I have a chill scroll here in my backpack that I bought earlier, and all you do to add it to your spell book, if you have the skill, you can see this one uses mundane magic, so I do have the skill. I'm going to double click on it, and it will tell me that the spell was added to my spell book. So if I come in here and I look, you can see that the spell is actually in fact in my spell book, and you can see also that there is a maximum number of spells I can have in my spell book at any given time, and this number will increase. You can increase the maximum you can have by increasing your character's knowledge, so something to consider whenever you're raising stats if you're close to the limit in your spell book. And I think there is currently over about 40 to 50 spells in the game. I'm going to show you where one of the scribe shops is, and there's also one in Brimstone, just so you know what it looks like. Scribes are generally in these blue robes, and alchemists that sell potions are usually in the red. We'll generally pair these two shops together in one building, however sometimes they are separate. So I'm just going to double click, and you can see that he sells quite a few scrolls here, and if you want to find out which type of magic a scroll is, I can click info on it, and it will tell me the minimum skill I need to have and the school of magic that that particular scroll is for. So you can see the shop sells quite a few scrolls. These red scrolls are actually for alchemy, which is a merchant skill, so you don't want to look at any of those if you are on as a wizard, but just wanted to kind of show you where you can pick up some additional spells for your character. And you know, again, mundane magic is going to be the most common scrolls that are sold in towns. A lot of the other scrolls you will need to find. So that is really it for the wizard, and we will talk about some other things here. I'm going to jump on another character, and I'll show you some miscellaneous things before the end of the tutorial, and we will wrap this up. As part of the wrap up for the tutorial, I'm going to talk about quests a little bit, and I'm back on the character we started the tutorials with, and I am just going to complete this first assignment to talk with the King of Brimstone and see what else he might have for me to do in the world. So I will double click on him, and he kind of gives me some background about the story, but I'm going to ask him what I can do for him. And you'll notice that whenever I do click that item, that the blinking text that was here isn't gone, and that quest has been marked as completed. And you may have also seen the message that I gained 25 experience points by completing the quest. Generally, when you complete a quest, you might get experience. You'll generally always get experience, but you might get gold or maybe a special item from a quest that you complete. And he is asking me to clear out some zombies and ratmen from the mine, so I'm going to take on this next quest, and we'll take a look at my map and see. You can see here it now marks that I'm supposed to head up to the Dragonhead mines from earlier in our tutorial. You had seen that, so I will run up there. I'll actually just pause the video. I am up at the mine entrance now, and before we go in here, I also want to show you the quest log real fast, and you can kind of see it will summarize the completed quests, give me a brief summary, and also summarize quests that I do need to complete and what I need to do for them. So in this case, it's saying that I need to kill 7 Ratmen and 7 zombies from the first level spawn points in the Dragonhead mines. And while this really isn't applicable to this quest, we'll probably end up taking off the complete buy for quests it's not applicable to. This is just an unreachable point in time in the future. So a lot of the quests do not have time frames you need to complete them in, but some quests do have specific time frames that the quest has to be completed in. So you may want to pay attention to that whenever you get a quest. Usually the ones that do have a specific time frame, it's a game day or two, which is usually 45 minutes per game day, roughly. So you'll want to make sure you do complete your quests in a timely manner. So I will run up and we will begin fighting some Ratmen to start to make some progress on the quest. Another important thing to note about quests is if you do die while you have a quest active, you will have to restart from the beginning on a given quest. You'll actually have to go talk to the king again and start the quest all the way over. And you can see quests that require you to keep track of things will generally tell you how far along as you are doing items. For example, I just killed 1 Ratman, and it's telling me I've killed 1 of 7 Ratmen. So there are a lot of different types of quests in the game. We start you off with some basic ones, as simple as just basic combat with Ratmen and zombies to help you build your character and get used to the game. And the core quests from the king get more difficult as you gain levels and as you get more experience with the game. So they are not all linear as you are thinking. So that is it for quests, and the next segment here will just wrap up everything else that might be important for you to know to start playing Fantasy Realm Online. So before we're totally done here, I just want to go through some of the options we didn't cover and just some other minor game features. So in options, let's just look at some of these options that we can turn on, some of the more popular ones. So this use classic containers actually will turn on the original container views that we had at the beginning of the game, and some players still prefer this view over the tabbed inventory view, and I will show you what this looks like. So I'm just going to open up my pack, and you can see it's more of a free-form pack container, where before players would just essentially put bags inside of your inventory to organize items as they wish. And it looks kind of chaotic because I do have so many items in my container on this character. And you can see the bank is kind of the same way in this mode, but again, some players do prefer to organize their own items rather than having the tab view. And that is one option that you can customize yourself. So I'm going to actually turn that off, and we'll look at a couple of these other ones here. You can turn off the hover delay for items, and if I do that, you'll notice that as I hover over items, it will come up immediately rather than there being any kind of delay. Another thing to note about this item view, whenever you click an item, you'll notice that this becomes sticky over here and it won't change as you hover over other items. To close this out, just right click on it and it will go away. So I'm going to put back on my hover delay because it can be kind of distracting to just immediately hover over items and have the item view come up. The other option you can use is to show the item view only when you click an item. So that requires you to actually click on something for the view to come up. And again, that's up to you, whatever you prefer as a player. The option is there. So the next thing we'll look at here is the video RAM. If your computer does have a lot of video RAM, you may want to consider raising it from 64, which is the default. And I would not recommend, if you don't know how much video RAM your computer has, I would not recommend playing with it too much, as if you set it too high, then the game will automatically start to use regular RAM, which is not nearly as fast as video RAM. So that is how that slider bar works. I'll just set mine to about 128 on this PC. And we'll move on to the next tab here, which is Map. And there is one of the items we didn't actually cover is you might want to turn on transparency from time to time, and you can see there is enable transparency here. And what that does, you can accomplish the same thing by using the built-in hotkey of Alt and T. And if you're behind something that you want to kind of see through, you can turn on transparency and see behind walls and such. If there is an item or something else stuck behind it that you can't reach, it will let you see it and reach it. So I'm going to go back in the options here, and we'll go back to Map. Some players prefer to use the number pad to move their character around, and you can certainly do that if you're using a regular keyboard. Probably not the easiest thing to do on a laptop. Again, just another option that you can use or not use, totally up to you. Opening corpses automatically, most players do prefer that on, so it's on by default. You can shut it off if that is distracting you. So I'm going to actually just uncheck this for transparency, and you can change the style of text that will be used in the game, as well as text color, your text color that's displayed, and there are a lot of different text colors. These are just the defaults, and you can go through and select a color for all of them if you wish. We went through hotkeys, so I'm not going to cover that again. And sound options are pretty self-explanatory. This just controls the different volumes that are used in the game. So you can set that to whatever you prefer. So that is it here for the options menu. Another item I want to show you is the help button, and you can see this will get you back to the tutorials that pop up at the beginning of the game. This will take you to our online forums, which is a great place to ask questions. We usually try to get back to any questions rather quickly. This is helpful if a game master is not online at the given time. This option actually sends us a page via email even if we're not online. And you can also optionally have it automatically posted to the Players Helping Players forum, where another player might be able to answer your question, or we can even answer your question on the forums. So whatever is easier for you, you can post directly to the forums. I'd also recommend the search on the tavern is pretty good. You can just use the search on our website to try to find an answer to a specific question. Another thing we didn't really talk about was all these buttons down here. And you can see here's a quick page button that'll bring up the same menu for help. If you've purchased any in-game items from our marketplace on our website, you can access them using this button. On this particular development server, the claim server is not available, so it's not going to bring up the window, but it'll essentially list any items that you have bought with tokens from our website. These two options here allow you to freeze and unfreeze items in your house, and essentially that's just doesn't allow any other players or anything to move items that are in your house. This is another option for enabling or disabling transparency quickly. You can also show life bars of NPCs and other players around using this toggle switch here, or you can press Alt-L as the help says there. You can also, if there are other players online, you can form a party using this window. All party members have to be within 15 levels of each other. So that is how that works. And you can also, if you are involved in PvP or just practicing with some buddies and you want to stop attacking each other, you can click this button or press Control-C on your keyboard, and that will cancel you out of attack mode. So that is really all there is to the basics of the game, and I'm sure there will be some other videos to go through some additional details in the future. And one last thing here, because I didn't really talk about how you actually talk in the game, but you can see there is this text box here that you can type in, and by typing in this text box, you can see that text appears above my character when it's on the local tab. And whenever I click over to global, this will actually allow me to chat with players who are anywhere in the world. And it's that simple. Nothing will appear on the game map, but will appear in the global chat log. And that is really all there is to this. And if you have any questions for us about this tutorial, you can certainly send us an email at support@fantasyrealmonline.com, or you can post in our forums. We're always happy to answer you, and we will answer you as soon as we can. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.